the beginning point for that would be, can the church do anything to save the lives of babies, or do we wait for the Congress and the courts to do that? So here's the problem. Abortion's all around us, right? We know that. I don't know if you know the incidents that they're saying 1 in 4 women are in that spot. And the church is a place people would run from. The church because of shame and embarrassment, right? So the solution, what if the church would be a place people could run to? And then how do you change the culture to do that? So that's what's behind it. There's lovelife.org. That's the parent group. There's 2 ministries under that umbrella. So the first is the House of Refuge, and that's churches. So if you were to go to the website, lovelife.org, House of Refuge, there's a map of the United States, and Chris has it pulled up to Ohio. So you can see the churches that are House of Refuge churches. If you click on, I called that a hot air balloon, but Chris said, no, that's a pin. But the churches are the hot air balloons. And then you see the heart with the half black, half white. So it's kind of out of the darkness into the light. Those are Restored Life Ministries, which are small group Bible studies for people that have gone through abortion to find forgiveness and healing. So then, what was the process? There were 2 simple steps. The first was to have a representative, and that began a few months ago. I took this information to the pastor to see if we as a church would be interested, and then he took it to the deacons, and then I volunteered to go through some online training and information, and that was the first step, and that was a step that I could do. Some other things I can't do. And so Chris and Jake, they were able to go to the website, and whatever you do to take pictures or to make it so you can see it, so that makes it, you can see what I saw. So then we have to read the House of Refuge statement. We agreed to do that twice a year. So then we've got one here, and I could do this part, and then I'll hang it in the lobby so that we'll be reminded as we come in those doors, and anybody that comes to church will know what we stand for. The next part of that is it should get on our website, and I can't do that, but when Chris heard me say that this morning, he jumped in and he's going to do that. So this is our statement. Calvary Baptist Church is a house of refuge. This applies to everyone in this church and for people you know that might need a place of refuge. And here's what we believe. In an unplanned pregnancy, please know that being pregnant is not a sin. The child you carry is not a punishment, but a blessing. God is knitting this child together in your womb. You may have made a sinful decision that led to this pregnancy, or you may have even been sinned against. But we want you to know that you are loved. We will do whatever it takes to help you carry and care for this precious child before and after birth. We can never support or encourage a woman to have an abortion because the child you carry is made in the image of God, is intrinsically valuable, and loved by God. And this is how we will respond. What we won't do is, this church family will not gossip about you, shame you, or abandon you. This is a house of refuge, and we will not allow the family of God to harm one another with words or actions contrary to the love of God as revealed in His Word. What we will do, everything in our power that might stand in the way, will remove the obstacles to having this child. There's people in the church ready to mentor you, ready to throw you a baby shower, and connect you with resources inside and outside of our church. So the Open Arm Pregnancy Center is on board with us, and they have supplies they can help with, and they can do free ultrasounds. We'd also hold men accountable for living out their calling to provide and protect women and children. If you've ever had an abortion in your past, we want you to know that abortion is not the unforgivable sin. Whoever confesses and forsakes their sin finds mercy. If you've never gone through an abortion recovery Bible study, we can connect you with one. And we didn't get a picture of this, but in our bathrooms, in each of the stalls, there's this color card, and it says, "He restores my soul." And the backside is contact information to connect people that need hope and healing with Restored Life Ministries that do that. And Chris was able to capture some video. There's 3 people in the video. The first is a high school student, and you'll hear her tell you that, Nicole.
Jordan, the father of the baby, his mom, was telling me that she had a dream that someone told her that someone was pregnant. And I had a dream that my mom told me that my cousin was pregnant. And as Hispanics, we think dreams always have a meaning, or there's something behind it or something like that. So she went to the dollar store and she got a pregnancy test. And later that night, I think it was that night or the next day, where I took it and it came out positive. And that's when we told Jordan. And for me, I guess it was more like I was excited because I was having a child with somebody that I loved. So like our relationship before, like everything being pregnant, it was really good. We understood each other. It was just, I don't know, it was just like I felt like he was my best friend. And then after I found out we were like pregnant, it was just kind of like we just kept kind of falling apart. So I guess like the commitment scared me, being alone scared me, and every day just got harder. And so I was just like, what am I gonna do? Like, you know, baby's a lot of responsibility. I'm not at high school. And so like, just everything, I was already feeling alone. I felt more alone because I didn't have like a lot of support. And I just felt like maybe it's the best choice, you know, I can't give him a good life or something. Like what if I'm not a good mom? Or I don't know. It was just very hard. And then so I made the appointment and I went. And then I remember what really shocked me was I saw this lady, like she already had a baby bump and everything, and it wasn't like a little small one where you could just like kind of tell. No, it was like a big one, and she was there. And I just like remember just being like, how could you do that? Like, or how could this place do this? It was very scary. And I just ran out, and I just remember I got in my car and I was just like, Mom, I can't do this.
She was clearly hurt.
So if the incidence is 1 woman in 4, this is kind of typical. And who she thought was her best friend, the father, deserts. Now she's alone and scared, and where do you go for help? So that the next part you'll see that's a bus that offers ultrasounds. Can you bring that up? So the way that I learned about this was in October at Answers in Genesis conference. There was that's a bus, but there was a smaller, like a van, that with the same signage that offers free pregnancy tests. And there was a church from New Jersey that must have had 24 of their people there, and they brought one of those ultrasound vans, and they take that and park it across the street from Planned Parenthood. And they have nurses that are trained to do ultrasounds, and they have people, volunteers, that try to engage with women on the sidewalk and offer to pray with them and offer them a free ultrasound. So I think that's what you're going to see, even though it doesn't lay it out like that. But the people from New Jersey that were doing this made it sound like that is what you're going to see.
Hurting. She cried a lot. And I just talked through that God loved her and that God had a plan for her and that she wasn't alone. I remember asking her, do you want this? Do you want to know God to be your father, the perfect father, and care for you? And she said, yes, I do. And she said, but I don't know how to do that. I don't know what that looks like. And so I had just this amazing privilege of praying with her. And I'm hearing her cry and confessing her sin before the Lord and asking him to come in and to be the Lord of her life. And I just wept, because the truth is I didn't want to go down there that day. Had been walking through some hard stuff in my life in the past year and just felt like this constant just drain. And I thought, the Lord can't use me when I'm empty like this. I'm so physically, emotionally, spiritually tired. This is silly for me to go down. But then the other women who were going to be on the sidewalk had expressed that they needed me there. There wasn't enough people to be on the sidewalk. And so I said, okay, Lord, I'll go down. I walked away from there just profoundly changed by my time with Nicole and the opportunity to sit and to talk with her, not just about her son, but about who she is before a king.
Angela made me feel like I wasn't just with some screaming lady outside of an abortion clinic. Like, she made me feel like I was with a friend. And that was something that meant a lot to me. I remember I was laying down with my hands up, and I like to have my feet up every time I watch movies. So I would just like to lay with my hands up and my feet up, and then as we were watching the ultrasound, all you see is him go like this, and his feet were up. And I was just like, that is like, how could I have ever thought of not wanting something so beautiful and mine?
Pastor Jeff said, we had this young lady who came and she decided to choose life for her baby, and we really want to help support her.
So I wanted to pause and be sure that you caught what happened when the church took a step to try. So the life of the baby was saved. The eternal soul of the mother was rescued. And the emotional spirit of the woman that didn't even want to go that day, right, was restored. So doesn't that sound like something God would do and want us to do? Can you get to 428 again? This is the last person to see, and this is the one that really seemed like would work for the Calvary people.
Lady who came and she decided to choose life for her baby, and we really want to help support her. And would you be interested in discipling her? And I said, well, let me pray about it. And it took me all of 3 minutes in prayer for God to say, why? Almost like, why did you even need to ask me? Of course, yes, this is what I want you to do. And so I called Nicole and we decided to get together for dinner one day. And we met early and we closed that restaurant down. Everybody was leaving. The waiters and waitresses were all waiting for us to get out of there because we just kept talking. It was like we had met old friends.
I didn't feel like I had to be fake around her or act more mature than I had to, because I was just like, oh, I'm friends with with a mom. And she didn't make me feel like that. She made me feel like she was just like any of my friends.
We wanted to throw a shower for her. And so I asked our New Song moms if they would consider joining with me to put a shower together for her, and they said, yes, please. And I was completely blown away by the love that poured out from the shower. That was really my biggest concern, was will I have time to be a good friend to Nicole? And God just said, all you need to do is say yes. I'll take care of the rest. And that's really what I felt in my spirit. So I said, okay.
Honestly, I don't know what I would have done if it wasn't for all the help that I got. Not a lot of people get that, but I'm blessed to say that I did. And I just hope there's more people out there like them to help those women that don't know what to do, so they could have that type of, they could gain that confidence, and not feel like they're completely alone. I know I'm not going to be a perfect mom, but I'm going to be the best mom that I can be. I just can't wait till I have that moment where I'm just like, he's worth it, and he was worth all of it. And I'm just very excited to meet him.
So I've never put on a baby shower. I've never been to a baby shower, but a lot of you have. I've never been pregnant, right? So Mother's Day kind of emphasized that the very people we honor for your sacrifice and devotion as mothers, that's the people that are qualified to do what I'm not qualified to do. So the next step for us is, if God is tugging on your heart, to let me know, or pastor, and there's some online on-demand training for mentors, and probably somebody like Chris can help you get to that, but it might be possible to do it even as a group. So, dear Lord, in Deuteronomy 30, verse 19, it says that you've set before us a choice between life and death, and a choice between blessing and cursing. So today we choose life, even though we're not sure what our next steps will look like. We're a small church in a small town. We ask that you would direct us and help us to be a part of saving the lives of babies and saving the eternal souls of their mothers and fathers. And we ask, believing that Jesus would want us to try.